everyone, it's a Fisher here. I'm back to play more of Suho Shin. Hello, Ghosty Ozzy. It's good to see you. How have you been? How's your day? I've got honey water. I got my snacks with me. So, we're gonna start off like, yeah. Immediate murder. I'll see how long I can go for, because y'all know there's no voiceover at all in this game. I have to talk a lot. Let's see how long my throat can stand it. If I can't take it, then I will switch to Little Misfortune. I'm good. Day's been good. Nothing fancy. How about you? Well, I've been chilling at home. As per usual, I guess. Okay. Oh my god! There's blood everywhere. What on earth? I don't even know where to begin. How could anyone do such a thing? Never laid eyes on such a sight, even during my time in Hanyang. Still, I must focus. This is my duty. There's no room for errors. Despite the egregious damage the body has sustained, none of the limbs or other body parts seems to be missing. Actually, it seems as though the killer didn't even touch the arms or the legs. It is only her midsection that has been torn to shreds. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't show that part. But there's so much blood, I can't make out the full extent of her wounds. Considering that the body is stretched out on its back, the wound must have been attacked from the front. But I must confess, I can't accurately claim to know much more than that. Bleeding has stopped, so I can say at least for certain that she was killed some time ago. Let's have a look around the room. Considering the fact that there's nothing scattered around the floor, nothing broken that I can see, it doesn't look like she put up much of a struggle. I wish they could show me the room and stuff. I know it's a visual novel, but I want to see what he's saying because I can't see anything. Nothing of note about the front door either. Let's step back and think this through. Probably died from the wound to the chest. How is it possible that no one but Buddy heard a thing? She never got the chance to scream. Who she let into her home so late at night? It must have been someone she knew. Can't tell for sure if anything was stolen. If that were the case, the doors would be all open, or there must be some sign that the criminal was searching for something. As it stands, there's no clear motive. It just looks like a random act of violence. There's nothing more for me to see here for the time being. I should go question my weakness. Okay, so yeah, this is a very typical classic visual novel. So you don't see anything. You just, it's pretty much just storytelling. You know, so you don't really see anything that it's not like, say, some of the more modern visual novels. For example, Beacon Pines is considered a visual novel, you know, but the mechanics is very unique, that it feels like it's a combination of visual novel and point and click in a sense, because you get to see and explore and do stuff. That's more of a modern visual novel, so it's not just purely words, you know. You get to do stuff, you get to explore a bit, look around, you know, there's more to do, puzzles. This one is a very like typical visual novel, that the classic style. So you don't get any puzzles, you don't get to explore the room, for example, or anything. I wish I could see the room, but that's not it. Okay. Have you finished your inspection of the body? Yes, you may remove the remains. Yes, sir. You saw it, didn't you? I did. Avoid giving out any details if people ask you what you saw. Any word of this could start a panic. Understood. Started away at once, and I headed next door. After a few knocks, the door opened. May I come in? A quiet voice answered. Yes, please do. Let me start out by introducing myself. My name is Yuri, and I'm in charge of looking into what happened here. I'd like to ask you a few questions if that's okay with you. Your account of this morning may help clear up a few details surrounding the case. Looked a little wobbly on her feet. I didn't ask why. I had to try to put her mind at ease. All the time you need, we are in no rush. Thank you. I'll be alright. What would you like to know? It shouldn't take very long. Glad to hear that. Okay, where do you work? I understand that two of you work together. Can you tell me what you do? I'm a weaver. Do you own a shop? No, I'm just an employee, so is she. How many people do you work with? A handful. I'm gonna need to work with your boss. Would you mind telling me where you work? The shop is located next to a market. It's owned by Mr. Ho. How long have you known the deceased? I known her for quite a number of years now. You have been working together all this time? That's right. I see. Last night, did you walk home together? Yes, we did, but I didn't see her again after I arrived home. I stayed home to tidy up my place and didn't step foot outside. You wouldn't happen to know what Miss Han did when she got home, did you? I can't say for sure, but I don't think I heard any visitors stop by in the late afternoon or early evening. What makes you so sure? Our houses are so close together that we can sometimes hear when the other has guests. I'm quite sure that she stayed at home by herself. And you heard nothing out of the ordinary. It was as quiet an evening as ever. I normally sleep through the night and there was no sound loud enough to wake me. When the murder took place, I guess I must have been asleep. You can't blame yourself for something like that. Was your neighbor living alone? Was she a widow? No, she never married. Does she have any family you know of? Her parents live in another town. I've never heard of any brother or sisters that might live around here. At least she never mentioned anything about any siblings, and she wasn't one to keep something like that to herself. She got on well with everyone, at work and in her personal life. You know the type of person who would give you the very shirt off their back? That was her. I see, then she must have had quite the social life, yes? That's right. Is it possible that she might have gotten into an argument with someone? Has any such rumors been floating about? Absolutely not. Did she have any valuables that could serve as a motive for murder? Not to my knowledge. Yui's, what happened to her going to happen to me? Not a chance. We'll post a guard to watch over you. There's no reason to be concerned. Can you really be so sure? I give you my word, we're gonna catch the person who did that to her. Thank you for taking the time to answer my questions. And I think you should get some rest. I'll go have a talk with your boss. If you remember anything at all, please come find me. I live near the south gate, next door to Suat's farm, if you know where that is. And if I'm not there, you can always talk to the village Sato, Mr. Lee. Okay, take care of yourself. I had to eat my snack a little bit. Okay, you headed out. If you hear any clumping of like plastic, it's because I'm eating my snack, okay? In other words, we don't know a lot. I should head over to Yumbok's place to see if it's home. Please don't let him be the culprit. Please don't let him be dead. Please. I like him. Yumbok, are you in there? No answer. No sign that anyone's home for that matter. Maybe their neighbor will know something. Went over to the next door neighbor's house. Hello, is anyone home? Yep, who's asking? Dear me, Yuri, is that you? The neighbor was an elderly man I knew quite well. Yes, sir, got back yesterday. Good to hear. How's everything going? Very well, thanks. I haven't seen Yumbok today. Have you happened to see him around? Can't say that I have, not today at least. You should go and have a chat with his parents. They're usually at their shop around this time. That's actually my next stop. If he, by any chance, does he return home, would you please tell him that Yuri's looking for him? I'll be sure to do that. Thank you for your time. You have a good day. Need to stop by his parents' shop. They'll know best about their son whereabouts. Yuri! Morning, sir, it's been far too long. But told us last night that you arrived. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too. How's business? Same old, same old. You? Not too tired from your trip? No, sir. I had a good night's rest. Look at you youngins walking halfway across the country and thinking nothing of it. Heard you passed the exam. Congratulations, you're in order. Stop by for dinner sometime. You can tell us all about it. I'd love to. Listen, I know that some guys dropped by these mornings to inform you, but Yunbook's gone missing. Mr. Lee asked me to locate him. Would you mind if I ask you a few questions? I had no doubt about Yunbook's innocence, but finding him would dispel some of the suspicion hanging over his head. Of course, anything for you, Yuri. The father does not look as worried as I expected him to. But your son goes missing, he's suspected murder, and you show nothing? He got confirmation that he returned home last night after our dinner together at the Juma. He didn't go out anywhere after that, did he? Not to my knowledge. We talked a bit before heading to bed. He told us all about going out to dinner with you and Sua. I just assumed he'd gone to bed after that. I didn't see him this morning. Nope, he was gone by the time we woke up. And what time was that? Shortly after sunrise. Not unusual for him to be gone before sunup. Not at all. He's known to get up early when he has to oversee the opening of the market. That being said, when the guards told us of his disappearance, I went to have a look around his room. That's when I noticed his uniform and the various knickknacks he carries around with him were right where he normally leaves them. Is that so? Strange, huh? He always takes his things with him, even when he's not on duty. Did he tell you if he had the day off today? I can't remember him saying anything of the sort. Last night he told us that he had to get up early today, but he didn't tell us why. Maybe he had work to do outside the village? That's what I was thinking too. But if that were the case, wouldn't you have seen him pack a lunch? You should have at least told the two of you, no? I agree. It's very strange. I really don't know what to tell you. Yuri, you look worried. The guards that showed up at our place this morning had the same look on their faces. Could you please tell me what's going on? Oh yeah, he doesn't know. Okay, so they didn't tell him that he's a suspect of murder yet. Okay. He just thought that his son was missing. I was hoping to avoid this question at all costs. Well, Derma's going to reach you eventually, so I think it's best you hear it from me. A woman was murdered in the village last night. My word! A murder here in Yangdong? Yes, sir. It's the first I'm hearing of it. I know. I'm finding it hard to believe myself. That's why we're looking for Yunbook. He went missing around the same time the murder took place. Now things are starting to make sense. And it's you in charge of figuring out who did it, right? That's right. Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee put me in charge of the investigation. Well, I'm glad they put this in your capable hands. But that doesn't make me any less worried about Yunbook. Are they pointing the finger at him? No, we don't have enough evidence to confirm him as a suspect. Don't you worry, Yunbook isn't capable of something like that. It's all just a very unfortunate coincidence. I'll be sure to stop by and tell you if I hear anything. Alright, Yuri, thank you. Must be off. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Okay, so Yunbook did return home last night after our dinner together. He had a chat with his parents, then went to bed. From what his father told me, he must not have left. He must not have been going about his normal business because he left his things in his room. Fortunately, it doesn't give us any clue as to where he went. I'm here at the market. I have to stop by this workshop owned by Mr. Ho. It's only a short walk from here. Welcome. Good morning. I'm looking for the owner of this establishment, Mr. Ho. That would be me. What can I do for you? You have a few minutes? I'd like to speak with you in private. I'm currently on assignment from Mr. Lee. The reason I've shown my concerns the two employees who didn't show up for work this morning. And by all means, step this way. I have Los Angeles today with me. Hopefully that helped with my throat a little bit. Okay, he led me to the corner of his shop. I'm afraid I have some bad news. Let me hear it. One of your employees, Miss Han, will not be returning to work. Why? What happened to her? She died last night. What? Her neighbor, the other employee who didn't show up today, she's the one who found her this morning. She's still in shock, so we instructed her to rest at home. I expect that she will return to work soon once she recovers. Of course, but Miss Han, how did she die? She was murdered. Murdered here in this village? Yes, we are sure of it. I've been living here for over 40 years and never heard of such a thing happening. Hard to believe, I know. How tragic. She was a fine worker. She was dear to us all. Friends will be sad to hear of her passing. Or worse than that, if others hear that we have a murderer in the village, there'll be panic in the streets. Yes, I do believe you're right in thinking that. Either way, I'm in charge of the investigation, and I'll do my best to catch a person responsible for this. I do hope you get your guy in quick. From what I gathered, Miss Han had no family in Yangdong, but it sounds like she had quite a group of friends. Is that so? It is. Okay, give me a list of her acquaintances, the people closest to her. That shouldn't be a problem. Wrote down a short list of names. Thank you. Does she normally interact with her customers? Hardly ever. Sales is my job. Have you gotten wind of any quarrels that might have been stirred up recently? No conflicts that I'm aware of. I was told that she was never married, but do you know if she was seeing anyone? Again, not that I'm aware of. Alright, that's all I needed to know. I won't keep you any longer. I think I'll close up shop for the day and break this horrible news to her coworkers. If they don't take it too hard. I took my leave and exited the shop. I still can't figure out the motive for this crime. And one being the victim makes no sense at all. Tomorrow I have to return to the market and question the people on the list Mr. Ho gave me. But before anything else, I need to make my report to Mr. Lee and Mr. Kim. I've been waiting for you. Have a seat. Let us hear what you managed to find out. Take a seat at the table. Mr. Lee says, please begin. Okay, Yuri says the victim died due to injuries she sustained to the chest and abdomen, probably done with some sort of sharp instrument. Ending off with good night and have a good rest of the stream. Good night, go see Ozzy. Have a good sleep. You'd think we were not able to conclude as much? San was a weaver by trade, and on the day of the murder, she went to work just as she always did. She and her neighbor walked to the market almost every day since they worked together. After work, they walked back home together sometime around the middle of the afternoon. According to her neighbor's account, she did not go out again, nor did she receive any visitors. Our chief witness went to bed early in the evening and was not awakened by any sort of commotion. Does that work with all the outfits? Unfortunately, no. Actually, because this is a separate software. The one that does the dance is the 3D model. So it has to be that specific model to do the dance. This one is unable to do the dance. Because this is VTube Studio. So unfortunately, this one doesn't have any dance movements built into it because it's 2D. Yeah, kind of a bummer. But this one can be customized with outfits and stuff. The other one is just, it's nice to have to dance, but it's not like customizable. Like the clothes and stuff. Yeah, I wish we could do the dances for all of them though, unfortunately. There's no 2D software that could do that yet. Okay. Considering the state of the body, I'm quite certain that she died sometime in the night. There's no sign of forced entry or any sort of physical altercation inside the house. Makes me think that the victim must have been someone she was familiar with and that she let the perpetrator into her home. Do you suspect the neighbor? I can't rule her out, but considering the state I found her in, it's highly unlikely. Looking at how savagely the perpetrator mutilated the body, I have to tell you that this murder is nothing like I've ever seen. An act like that requires a certain amount of physical strength and brass demeanor. I'm not sure the woman next door has either. I can agree with that assessment. We have to establish a motive for the murder. The victim seems to be liked by those around her. I could not find evidence of any sort of personal conflict. And it appears that nothing was stolen from her home. The investigation turned up nothing. Is that what you're trying to tell us? It's likely that the murder was premeditated. Since nothing was stolen, I believe this is to be a crime of passion. Turns out the case more often than you'd like to believe. Interesting theory, but we need evidence to back it up. How do you intend to find that evidence? Her employer provided me a list of the people closest to her. My next move is to question them and learn more about the victim's personal life. I believe that one of the people on the list will be able to give me something to go on. It all sounds well and good, but my greatest concern is that the news of this will soon spread. That a suspect, only panic will ensue. Mr. Kim, I suggest that we name a culprit and throw him or her in jail. Knowing that we have this perpetrator behind bars will give some peace of mind to the people of the village. This next door neighbor, for instance, she fits the bill quite nicely. What do you think of that, Yuri? I think it's a bit hasty. Please give me a little bit more time. If you were to accuse an innocent person, the results could be disastrous, both for your reputation and for the confidence that people place in you. Yes, I do believe that's the right call, Yuri. You have no choice but to wait and see what happens next. That's what you believe to be the best, Mr. Kim. So according to your statement, Yuri, the killer has the strength of a man and was a person the victim knew. Is that accurate? Yes, I believe so. And does Yunbok fit your criteria? Have you truly not entertained the possibility? To be honest, sir, I don't believe he could have done something like this. You both know for a fact that Yunbok, as loyal as he is simply incapable of such an act. He said it because you're his friend, Yuri, but if you're incapable of viewing the situation at a distance, then how are we possibly trust you to find the truth? You can trust me, sir. If he's responsible, I shall find him and hold him accountable for his actions. Have you found any clues about his disappearance? The chances of him being our culprit are slim to none, especially considering he didn't put on his uniform or take any of his things with him. Something about all of this just doesn't add up. Someone as diligent as Yunbok will not leave without his things if he was planning to be gone for an entire day. Many of us admit that he may be involved. We lack the evidence to say anything conclusive, but you are correct. We cannot completely rule him out as a suspect. But if I were to venture as a guess, it would be that he heard a suspicious noise outside and went to investigate. As you know, we are trained to have very keen ears. He may have seen something and fallen victim to the same fate as Bishan. Or he may have had to escape from harm and hide himself away. That would account for his absence. Quite the imagination you have, boy. We're aware of how perplexing this situation has become, but even though this is likely your first real case, we're counting on you to get to the bottom of it. Thank you for putting your faith in me, sir. Empty promises will not suffer. We need results. Ah, you shut up. Okay, I'll say this now. Mr. Lee is very suspicious. Because Mr. Kim, I still feels like he's like really like trying to, okay, we're gonna investigate, entertain all possibilities, yeah. But I feel like Mr. Lee just wants to throw someone under the bus. It makes me feel very sus about this guy. Like, even if he's not the culprit, I feel like he's corrupted somehow. Like, he's somehow involved. I don't know. Although, the game could do, like, this crazy thing where they do the plot twist, or it's a nice guy that is the one that is suspicious, so it is actually, like, Mr. Kim we have to worry about. I don't know. So, you resume your investigation tomorrow morning and report back once more at the end of the day. After those last unpleasant remarks, he sent me on my way. Seems like the pressure's getting to Mr. Lee. He's more than willing to pass that pressure on to me. By tomorrow, I bet the whole village will know what happened. I'm going to have to work fast if I want to get to the bottom of this. Yuri in Sua's neighborhood. Sua, you've been waiting for me? I have. Good evening, Yuri. You're supposed to have the day up. I haven't seen you all day. I couldn't help but worry. Where have you been? Ah, you haven't heard. I guess I have to fill in. Would you mind if we talked at your house? Of course, do come in. Looks like something's on your mind. What happened? Mr. Lee called for me this morning. Why? Did something happen last night? Yes, there was an urgent matter that required my attention. A woman was murdered in the village last night. What? Hard to believe, right? Oh dear. It's not all. Yunbok has disappeared and nobody has seen him all day. Yunbok? He didn't go home last night? No, he definitely went back to his place. I know because he talked to his parents before turning in for the night. But no one saw him this morning, which makes me think he left sometime during the night. It's also strange. Because of the mystery surrounding his disappearance, Mr. Lee strongly suspects that Yunbok had a hand in the murder. No, not Yunbok. That can't be true. What about you? What do you think? Highly unlikely that Yunbok was involved. Who would do such a thing? And in our little village? I've started my investigation. I can say that the answers will not come easily. How is that? This was clearly no accident. Killer absolutely mutilated the body. I've never seen anything like it. But there was no eyewitnesses, no signs of a struggle. Mr. Lee is desperate to find a culprit. As you can see, he's quick to point the finger at anyone he suspects. He's afraid what will happen if the people panic, making him quick to challenge any theory I put forth. After all, he's a village Sato, and his leadership would come under question if he were to allow a criminal to roam free. Imagine if the young bonds from the neighboring villages were to hear about this. That will not be good for his image. I still have time. I'm going to have to act fast. Didn't you say they did sort of work at Hanyang? That's right. I faced this sort of situation during my time at the capital. As I said, this sort of work interests me greatly. It's just that it's quite the burden carrying it alone. I have faith in you, Yuri. Tomorrow morning... What? Oh, tomorrow morning I plan to visit the people who are closest to the victim. Many times, questioning can lead us to certain contradictions, and those close would lead us straight to the suspect. So that's how it works. It is. How about I talk about something else? How was your day? My day went very well, thank you. I went to the market this morning. Business was good. Hold on. I think I might need to take medication for migraine. I've been suffering from that a little bit. Headache. I don't know if it's the weather or something that's getting to me. It's getting really hot. Hey. And this afternoon I harvested my cabbages. They're in season, you know. Must be tired too then. A bit, yeah. But tomorrow is the day I usually rest, so I should be able to relax. What do you have planned? I promised Suni I'll come play music with her. That's right. You mentioned something about that. How's Suni? Still single? Don't tell me you're interested in her. I'm not. Just curious how she's been. Been gone for 3 whole years. She could have gotten married for all I know. Nope, she hasn't. She's fine though. Just by herself in the same house she always has, only a few minutes walk away. I see. Well, Sua, I must be off. I need to collect my thoughts and record the events of the day. Say hello to Suni for me. I will. Good night. Sleep well. Would imagine this sort of thing could happen in Yangdong. On the other hand, fighting to be in charge of this sort of investigation. But on the other, it pains me to see such things happen. What a way to welcome me home. Okay, next morning. I couldn't stop thinking about yesterday's events. I don't think I slept a wink. The more I think about it, the more I entertain the possibility that the murder could have been the work of someone from outside the village. Then I think our village is so isolated. The chances of someone happening upon this place are so low. Could it be a group of bandits? No. Whoever ransacked the house. Regardless, I must head to the market and question the people there. Okay, someone dead again. What was that? Oh no, that's Sua's voice. Oh, Suni's dead. Someone else. It's too far for it coming from her house. That's why she's going to visit Suni. The screams are coming from there. I must hurry. Oh fuck, Suni's dead. I said that Suni's dead. As a serial killer. Ran as fast as I could to where I remembered Suni's house to be. Once I found Sua in tears, her jungle lay at her feet. Sua, are you okay? Tell me what happened. It's Suni. Let me have a look. Stay right here. She's fucking dead. She's fucking dead. Went to Suni's house, opened the door. She's dead. She's dead. I'm sure she's dead. Oh my fucking god. Oh no, not again. Suni's body lying on the floor, but pulled around her. A few neighbors were starting to gather around Suna, probably drawn by her screams. This was truly a horrific sight. I had to keep calm for everyone's sake. Close the door and purse the smoke of people. Is everything alright? Were you the one who called for help, miss? Let me take care of this. Y'all can head home. Are you sure this young lady is clearly shocked? She'll be alright. Thank you for your concern. Mike gave me a puzzle and the group slowly dispersed. Once I was alone again with Suna, I dusted off her instrument and tried to calm her down. However, comforting people wasn't exactly my area of expertise, and I was also trying to process what I've seen. Suna, I'm so sorry you had to see that. We should stay here. Do you think you can walk? Yes. Okay, then how about we head to your place? Are you not supposed to, like, get someone to send for the guards or something? You're just gonna leave the body there? Start walking. So I stopped all the way home. Neither of us said a word. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say. Why Suni? What did she do to deserve that? Just my best friend. When was the last time you saw her? A few days ago. Did you notice anything unusual about her behavior? No. So, do you think you can answer a few questions about Suni? Did Suni have any money problems? Not that I know of. She would have told me if she did. Was she still working for the Yangbans? That's right. She worked in the fields. Was she seeing anyone? No, she never mentioned anyone. Do you think she could have been seeing a Yangban in secret? Why would you think something like that? The Yangban patriarchs are known to take mistresses behind their wives' backs. That sort of relationship can end in bloodshed. Not a chance. Suni would never. The events of the morning just threw all my plans out the window. I was worried about the state Suna was in, but I had to warn the Sato as quickly as possible. Sua, I wish I could stay with you, but I must report this to Mr. Lee. Please let me come with you. Sure, why not? Okay, we can go there together. I'm sorry to even ask, but I'm afraid to stay here by myself. It's perfectly alright, no need to apologize. Before reporting to Sato, we have to return to Suni's place. I must examine the body. I know it's difficult, but do you think you could wait for me outside? Yes. Very well, let's go. Yeah, I don't want her to stay alone. I don't want her to end up dead. It seems like it's like the woman getting killed, so... Yeah, nah. Could you wait here? I'll be right back. Thumbs up. People are out and about. I promise there's no need to fear. I just don't want you to go through that again. I'll wait for you here, but please hurry. I will, promise. Continue on to Suni's house and open the door. My word, this is atrocious. I couldn't hold back the tears. I wasn't as close to Suni as I was to Sua, but she had been a friend all the same. She was also brought up in the village orphanage, meaning that we all shared a special bond. Let me check the body first. The body's in better condition than the one I saw yesterday. Not quite as salvage as this time. It seems as if the culprit started at the chest with some sort of sharp instrument. Must be the cause of death. The blood flow has ceased, meaning that the murder occurred sometime during the night. Oh, there are marks on her face. Looks like killer must have to stop her from screaming. It must be strong to leave marks like that. Again, I get the feeling the criminal was someone that the victim knew. Hello, Cheese! Welcome! There are no other signs of struggle, no signs of forced entry. She wouldn't let a stranger in her home in the middle of the night, would she? Now for a quick look around the house. Doesn't look like anyone rummaged through anything. Her bedding is still spread out on the floor. That plus the fact that she is still wearing her night clothes means the killer must have woken her. I should question some of the neighbors to see if anyone heard anything. But before that, I must return to Sua. I found Sua a short distance away. She's a lot more composed than before. Ah, Yuri, you're there, you're... Yes, I finished my inspection. And? It's just like what I saw yesterday. Suni invited the killer inside, the killer went to work. I should have invited her to spend the night with me. We knew there was a murder in the village. I could have stopped this from happening. No, Sua, none of this is your fault. How could we have known that the killer would strike again and that Suni would be the victim? Still, I know you're sad. I'm sad too. But I will do everything in my power to make sure this does not happen again. However, I do believe it would be a good idea to stay with me tonight, at least until we find a murderer. Thank you. That would make me feel more safe. Also, before we meet Mr. Lee, I'd like to question some neighbors. Would you like to come along? No, I don't want to disturb your investigation. I'll wait here. Are you sure you don't mind? Go on, I'll be alright. I like to be alone in my thoughts for a while. I'll be fine just knowing you're nearby. As an old woman leaves next to Suni right there on the left. She should be home around this time. Okay, that's good to know. I'll be right back. Good luck, Yuri. Went to the house next to Suni's and knocked on the door. Hello, anybody home? Elderly woman answered the door. Yes, who is it? What can I help with you, young man? Excuse me if I'm disturbing you, but might I ask you a few questions? Go right ahead. Are you close with your neighbor, Suni? Why, are you a friend of hers? Indeed I am. Do you know if she had any visitors yesterday? I don't believe so. If you're a friend, why don't you go ask her yourself? Well, she's not in right now. Is that so? I don't remember hearing her leave. That's why I'm here. This about the woman screaming a short time ago? It is. I asked you about last night. Did you hear anything strange? What might I have heard? A fight or somebody yelling? No. But my dog did get to growling something fierce. Your dog growled? Is that something he normally does? He doesn't normally growl at night, but he's known to go off during the day when strangers are about. You didn't happen to hear any other sounds last night, did you? Besides all the barking, which was rather odd. No, I didn't hear a thing. Very well. Thank you. I won't take up any more of your time. Hold up just one moment. Did something happen? You're not just asking this question for the sake of asking. What does this all have to do with the girl screaming her head off? I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't tell you anything more for the time being. Sounds like something did happen then. Ma'am, all I can tell is that I'm working for Mr. Lee and that something bad happened during the night. I'll make sure that someone stops by to inform you of the situation, but for now, I would appreciate you if you were to remain indoors. Alright. Have a good day, ma'am. All done, Sua. That's quite fast. You have a talk with the woman? Yes, she can tell that something happened. You must have heard me scream sorry. Nothing to be sorry for. The news will spread soon enough. Did she have anything helpful to say? Her dog growled last night. Oh, that's right. I've seen the dog. It's quite small. The story confirmed that someone came by last night. Well, then where to next? We have to go straight to Mr. Lee. Alright, I'm coming with you. Oh my god, it's a serial killer, man. I'm not sure if they'll let you into town hall, Sua. I guess that's much. Can you manage it on your own? I'll be fine. Maybe I'll go see Yusu is home and say hello. I suppose her father must have informed her of the situation. Are you friends with the Sato's daughter? I wouldn't go as far to say with friends. She is much higher than me in terms of social status, but she's cordial enough. We had a few good conversations. Interesting. Would you like to meet here later? Yeah, let's do that. Why are you here, Yuri? Shouldn't you be at the market carrying out your investigation? I need to speak with you, sir. So, what brings you all this way? Good morning, sir. Sir, I have urgent matters to discuss. Why, is there something new to report? Nothing good, sir. Last night, there was another incident. I see. I informed Mr. Kim at once. Are you alright, Sua? You do not look well. Well, sir... You told me Yusu's home? Got your 3-stream shriek? Nice! Congratulations! 3 streams! It's been good to see you all these 3 streams. Even when you're not chatting, I know. But, you know, I'm also appreciative if you have to lurk. I've come all this way. I'd like to hear how she's doing. I believe she's resting at home. Feel free to stop by, but do not keep her for long. Thank you, sir. Yuri, you go on ahead. I'll call up Mr. Kim and meet you in the council chamber shortly. Understood, sir. See you soon, Zla. There's gonna be a lot of deaths. I only had to wait for a few minutes before Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee joined me. Mr. Lee tells me there was another incident last night. Please tell us what you know. As you both know, my plan was to question Miss Han's friends and acquaintances this morning. But right as I was about to get set out, I heard a scream. It was Sua. She had plans to visit her friend Suni's house, just a short walk from where we live. It was when she happened upon her friend's dead body. You conduct an investigation? Yes, sir. I examined the body and questioned one of the victim's neighbors. The killer's methods are the same as they were yesterday. A swift, silent kill sometime during the night. The killer carved a hole in the woman's chest. Of course, that is the most likely cause of her death. Neighbor's dog started growling at something in the middle of the night. It was not enough to arouse the neighbor's suspicion. Asua, you say she discovered the body. She was in shock, especially since Suni was her best friend. Sua lives right next door, so I promise to look after her. And she'll be fine. Let's return to the matter at hand. How are you reading this situation, Yuri? The victim opened the door for a killer sometime in the middle of the night. It was probably someone the victim knew well. Considering the fact that nothing was stolen once again, it doesn't seem like the killer is after any material possessions. To the best of Sua's knowledge, Suni had no outstanding debts and was probably not seeing anyone. Do you believe the same person is responsible for both incidents? Can't say for sure, but the state of the body suggests that that may be the case. What do you believe the best course of action, Mr. Lee? Must protect the people of the village. Must set a curfew and instruct the villagers to not open their doors for anyone except members of their immediate family until we find this murderous beast. Do you agree? I do, sir. And it is decided. Let's instruct the guards to inform the villagers of what has happened and tell everyone to stay indoors until we discover who is behind this. I'll give the orders myself. Has you reported back? Yes, not. The boy disappeared right when this string of murders began. Can you really call this a coincidence? I believe we should also post wanted bulletins throughout the village. Whether he's guilty or not, we must find him and see what he knows. If you believe that will help with the investigation, sir. Yuri, what do you believe is the best way to proceed with your investigation? I'll follow my initial plan of questioning the acquaintances of the first victim. Then I'll take my horse and ride around the village. There may be some clue as to who is behind this out there. Of course, we know that the murderer acts at night while everyone else is asleep, so I'm planning to quietly patrol the village tonight. It sounds like a good idea. Are you in need of men to accompany you? No, I must remain as discreet as possible. If too many people know my plan, there is always the possibility that the murderer also catches wind of it and stays away. In addition to curfew, I think it's best if you inform the villagers who live alone to stay with friends or neighbors at night. Considering what we have seen, our killer tends to single out the women living alone and take advantage of their vulnerability. By suggesting that people spend the nights together, you may be able to stifle some of the panic and prevent further attacks. Not a good suggestion. We'll do just that, Yuri. Thank you, sir. Well then, sirs, let me take my leave. I'll report back tomorrow morning. Very well. Sir Lee, please see that the residents have been warned. Right away. Good luck, Yuri. Thank you, sir. Oh, man. Some serial killer. Two in like, well, like it's the consecutively. Oh my god. All done, Yuri? That I am. And you, do you get to see Yunsu? Yes, we had a small chat told about Sunny. I see. How did she react? She tried to comfort me, assuring me that she's safe here in the Yangman district. I don't think she quite realizes the seriousness of the situation. Zula, we'll get something to eat and talk this through. Sorry, I don't feel like cooking. Let's head over to Jumark then. It should be quiet around this time. Alright, let's do that. What would you like to eat? I'm not sure. How about some kukbap? I says that would be alright. Kukbap, I think it's porridge something. What's kukbap? Sounds like something I should know, but I don't. Cooking, dishing cooked rice into hot soup. Ah, okay. Yeah, I should guess from the name, right? Kukbap. Okay. Guess that'll be alright. You guys are being told to order people to stay in groups and remain at home at night to prevent this from happening again. However, I'm going to sneak through the village tonight and try to catch this killer. Would that be dangerous? Shouldn't you focus on your investigation instead? Suar, you really have no other choice in the matter. What if something happens to you? I can't fend for myself. I'm not sure if I have to resort to such actions yet. Well, you know the plan over dinner. Okay. What do you intend to do this afternoon? First thing I must do is question Miss Han's friends and acquaintances. Now I plan to ride my horse around the village to see if I can find anything suspicious out there. No one has heard from Yunbok yet? And there's still no news. That's concerning. It is. I really hope nothing has happened to him. I'm starting to have my doubts. Did you go ask the village of Baksu for help? Baksu? Oh, Shaman. Shaman tends to be female these days. Okay. You really think that would help? Yes, maybe you can help us find a culprit. I'll think about it. Would you like to come with me this afternoon? That's very kind of you, but I'll be alright. I don't want to slow you down. I'd rather not you stay alone all day. I intend to go to the orphanage. I'm hoping it'll take my mind off everything that's happened. It'll help to know that everyone over there is safe. In that case, let me at my house before the sun sets. See you there. We ate our lunch and then we went our separate ways. So I headed straight for the orphanage. I watched her for as long as I could before riding away from on my horse. Went straight to the market to meet the people closest to Miss Han. Hello, my name is Yuri. I'm looking into the depths of Miss Han. Ah, hello. I was told that you're a friend of hers, is that correct? I was. Very well. I need to ask you some questions. I tried to find out more about the victim, but it seemed like she had no problems regarding money or men. Like her neighbor told me the day before, she seemed to be on good terms with everyone. Her friends couldn't tell me anything that I didn't already know. There were no contradictions in their testimonies, and none of them were acting at all suspicious. Thank you for your time. If you remember anything at all, please come find me or the Sato. There's gotta be something I'm missing in all this. Must be some link between Miss Han and Sunny. If the same person would commit both crimes, so I wouldn't know if Sunny knew Miss Han. I'll have to ask her tonight. Time to scroll the village and see what I find. Fired a criminal? Oh, surely he wants to set a camp somewhere outside the village. I skirted the outside of the village, keeping my eyes peeled the entire way. Nothing. The police envoys must have made its rounds before it's quieter than usual. I guess everyone knows what's going on. Farmers aren't on their fields. I cannot hear any more of the usual hustle and bustle I normally would around this time. I'll make one more round, heading out a bit further this time. From what I recall, there's also that small temple out west. The monk out there lived alone. I do remember him dropping by the village from time to time. Should go see him and ask him if he's seen anyone strange around these parts. Okay, at the Buddhist temple. I at the small temple west of the village. Heard a lot about this place, but this was my first time actually coming out here. You couldn't accidentally happen upon this place. It was a good hour's walk from the village. I'm up a set of stairs and made my way towards the entrance of the temple. Glancing inside, I saw a figure sitting in prayer. That was probably the monk then. Walked a little closer, trying to be as quiet as possible so I wouldn't interrupt him. Oh, do I have a visitor? Hello! My name is Yuri. I've come from the village. Sorry to bother you. Are you here in search for peace? Well, not exactly. I sense turmoil in your heart, young man. Come, sit. I did as he asked, having a seat in front of him. Sir, I... Stop. First, you must clear your mind and let go of the Agnes you carry inside. You'll never find the answers you seek if you allow those burdens to weigh you down. I couldn't help but admit, a bit of meditation couldn't hurt. Took a deep breath and tried to let go of my thoughts and my surroundings. The temple is such a peaceful place. I focused on the sound of the wind and the chirping of the birds. After a few minutes, I felt some tension leave me. Now, young man, I'm listening. Do you live alone up here? I live with nature, the animals, and elements. There are no other people up here, though, if that's a question. What about the occasional visitor? Visitors are quite rare these days. It seems that people are no longer interested in history and legend. It's been quite some time since I've had anyone stop by. I see. Actually, I came by to ask if you've seen anyone roaming around these parts. If so, I was curious if they were from the village or not, but it seems as though there's no one at all. Not a soul. Don't you get lonely up here? Young man, you shouldn't worry about an old hermit like me. The way I live my life is probably quite different from the way you live yours. I hadn't time to feel lonely. I spend most of my time reading and studying. You must be quite knowledgeable then. I am, if I may boast. My role is to perpetuate the knowledge that exists between these four walls. So for example, I have here a number of old books that record long forgotten facts from ancient times. They are here, waiting for any person who wishes to know the truth they have carried so far. I'll be interested in visiting you again and hearing about the truth, but right now I simply don't have the time. There are urgent affairs in the village that must be dealt with. As I inferred. However, do not forget what I told you. A burdened mind can solve none of life's mysteries. Take the time to meditate. Clear your mind each and every day. Thank you for your advice. Would you like me to bring anything next time I visit? No, thank you. I'm fine. Alright, I hope to see you again soon. That you will, young man. Gave the monk a deep bow and climbed back up on my horse. Time to head home, so I will be waiting. I don't want to be suspicious of the monk, but I still am suspicious. I arrived home shortly before nightfall. I could see a light flickering inside that had to be Sua. Yuri, you're back. I am. Had quite the day. How was your afternoon? Not too bad. Seeing that all the children were safe and sound helped. Then I had to explain them to Sunny that I left on laundry and probably never returned. It must not have been easy. I could feel the sobs in the back of my throat, but I somehow managed to fight back tears. Of course, I had to explain the truth of the matter to Mrs. An. She was sad to hear of Sunny's passing, but she assured me that children are in good hands. Thank you for filling her in. I'm glad that I have you to rely on. Now that knowing that I'll never see my best friend again, I don't know how to come to terms with that. As you know, her life was never easy. Just thinking about that makes me pity her even more. When all this is over, I'd like to give her the proper rights. Can you help? Of course. We'll pay her the respect she is due. I hope you know I'm mostly grieving. I'm just trying to stay focused on finding who did this to her. What did you do this afternoon? I picked out Miss Han's friends. I questioned them. I was unable to learn anything new. By the way, would you happen to know Miss Han and Sunny knew each other? I knew who she was from my time at the market. I'm not sure if Sunny knew her. I mean, Sunny never mentioned her name. I see. I also rode around the entire village twice, but I found nothing. The only place I haven't looked around is the forest. I even went to visit a monk who lives west of the village. Alright, the monk. We don't see him much around here. He seems to be quite spiritual. Anyway, he told me that he hasn't seen anyone his way in quite some time. I didn't tell him what's going on, though. I don't think he's in any danger, so there's no use scaring the poor old man. I think you made the right choice. I just hope we won't be seeing another murder tonight. Masato is putting a lot of pressure on me. He's convinced that Yunbug's behind this, even had the guards put up notices for his immediate arrest. What? I can't believe he could do such a thing, but imagine if it really was him, what then? I can get the thought out of my mind. I can't believe he could do anything of the sort, but it is strange that he still hasn't turned up. Why would he kill Sunii, though? Agwe, it doesn't make sense. It couldn't be him. I have to search the village tonight. Wouldn't that be dangerous? Suwa, it's already been 2 days. We had 2 deaths, and my investigation has turned up nothing. I'm already losing Mr. Lee's confidence. I can feel it. I have to make some sort of progress, otherwise this is going to end badly for me. Mr. Kim is kind of impatient, but that won't last. Have you told anyone of my return to Yangdong? I've only told Yunsu, don't worry. If anyone knocks, it won't be me. So if that were to happen, you scream for help just as loud as you can. When I come back, I'll just open the door straight away. Try not to let that frighten you if the sound wakes you up. Is everyone going to be able to sleep a wink without you here? So, I promise to be as careful as I can be. Don't forget, I was trained to handle this sort of thing. And I think everything will be fine. I won't be long. The rest of the evening passed quietly. The sun set. It was time for her to turn in. So you go to sleep in my room. I'll be bed down near the door. Don't you worry, we'll be fine. Alright, thank you, Yuri. Good night. See you in the morning. I never was able to figure out if she went straight to sleep or if she was just pretending to be asleep. Honestly, it didn't change a thing. I had to focus on my mission. The next few minutes were burned into my memory. They seemed to stretch on forever. Deep down in my heart, I couldn't be sure which choice was the correct one. Oh shit! I don't want to do this! But, okay, wait. I have to go and investigate. I did tell Mr. Lee and all that I would do that. It's my job. And we told Suwa to not open the door for anyone, so I'm gonna trust in her that nothing's gonna happen, and then I'm just gonna go do my job. Well, I must be going. The Yudi and Suwa's neighborhood. Took a deep breath and quietly got to my feet. Approached the room where Suwa was bedded down for the night. I couldn't hear a peep. I sure hope she's sleeping. I made my way to the door and opened it as quietly as I could. I tiptoed to the doorway and slowly closed the door behind me, hoping not to wake Suwa. Once outside, I looked up at the sky. It was a clear night. The moon was full enough to light my way. I made sure once more that I had my dagger on my person. Well, where to? Or I decided on the destination I need to get my information straight. Right around the village this afternoon, I found nothing to the north, south, or west. At least the forest to the east, but I would be surprised if anyone was hiding out there. The killer's a villager, then he is already among us and could be lurking everywhere. Miss Han was killed yesterday in the northern part of the village. The killer got Sunii this morning near the west gate. Neither of those places are packed in terms of people living there, so they're both very quiet neighborhoods. Yaman district lies in the heart of the village and it's always filled with guards, so I don't think it would do me much good to look around there. Then let me go to Southern Thip first, so since it's a short walk away. Then I can find a hiding place and think of where to head next. I start walking towards the southern gate that led into the village. It will only take me a few minutes to get over there. As I walked, I thought about something Suwa had said that afternoon. I am, however, going to sneak through the village tonight and try to catch this killer. Would that be dangerous? Shouldn't you focus on investigation instead? Technically, I am investigating. She was right, I couldn't deny it. What would happen if I came face to face with this killer? I haven't given it much thought. As I walked, I imagined what might happen if we were to meet. As each possibility played out in my mind, I felt more and more anxious. In the capital, I'll investigate a few murders, but there was always someone leading the way. This time it was my job to find a killer, and I was alone. Was I strong enough to take on this mission? Had I let my confidence get the best of me? I thought about the bodies of Miss Hunt and Suni, and it looked. I shrank at the image and felt goosebumps cover my arms. I must not face this criminal alone. Instead, I will merely find out his identity and then arrest him in the light of day tomorrow. After that morale boost, I got my feet moving once more and soon reached the southern gate. I went from one house to another, hiding behind each one and peeking out to make sure there's nobody else on the road. Perhaps it was just my imagination, but it felt like this death-like lull reigned over the village. It was as if the buildings shed the tension that gripped me. There was a noise to be heard, not a slammed door or a raised voice. There was only silence. I had to find a hiding spot with a good view of the surrounding area. That's about before deciding on a suitable clump of trees closer to the intersection of the two roads. Look behind the trees, ever watchful. Not to wait and see. It's so quiet. I remember the nights here being generally peaceful, but this is something else entirely. Probably just past midnight. If I suspect's on the move, I'll pick the right spot. I should be able to see him. Of course, keeping myself awake and alert is going to be difficult as the hours pass by. I waited and watched for a long time, but there's nothing to be seen. Well, it seemed like I chose them so poorly. Time to work my way to the north. After making sure there's no one nearby, I left my hiding place. Legs were numb and took me some time to get my feet under me. From my hiding spot, I had to wake my way through the marketplace on my way north. Once I felt ready, I set off. After sticking around quite some time, I reached the center of the village. Huh? It was dark, but I could see a light up to the east. That's right where the Yongbans lived. If the place is properly lit, it's hard for anyone holding an ill will to commit crime since there's no place to hide. Looks like the guards have the area under control. I doubt anything bad will happen that way. Time to move. Must reach the northern end of the city as quickly as possible. I have a feeling something's going to happen in the Yongban area. I'm just saying. After more sneaking, I finally reached the northern tip of the village. As before, I looked around for a hiding place and soon found an ideal spot. There was a tree leaning up against the wall. I climbed about halfway up and checked my vantage point. From here, I could see anyone entering or leaving the area, with them being none the wiser. Crouched down and waited. If I'm not able to catch a break, I'll take the brunt of Mr. Lee's malicious remarks tomorrow. Not even the worst of it. I need to stop this killer before it claims more lives. From this high up, I can see the Yongban district quite well. It's bright as day over there. No movement, though. Everyone must be asleep. I imagine this situation must be hard on Mr. Kim as well. Unlike some other noblemen, he means well. He listens to others and does his very best to make sure his people are happy and provided for. Thanks to him, I was trained for this sort of thing at the capital. It's my duty to repay the favor by finding this criminal. Suppose I cannot find this killer tonight. What am I to do tomorrow? Guess I still have a few options. First, I'll contact Suni's friends and relatives. So I can have a look through the forest and see if I can find any clues. That turns out nothing. I'll just have to go house to house, questioning each and every villager. I'd rather not resort to that, though. It would take loads of time and make many innocent people very anxious. I'll just keep that as my final option and hope that I won't have to use it. I stayed perched on the tree for quite some time. I couldn't tell how long I've been up there, but I was getting tired and beginning to lose my patience. Okay, I have to call it a day. Seems like nothing's gonna happen tonight. I'll head back home and try to get a few hours of shut-eye. I was about to climb down when I heard a noise. I froze. Footstep. Sounds like someone's approaching. I start pounding my chest. Villagers were instructed not to leave their homes, so that could only be the killer. I stay here and stare at the direction the footsteps were coming from. I saw a hooded figure making its way north, straight towards my hiding spot. Oh no! Whoever it was, they were wearing a loose-fitting cloak that covered them from head to toe. No way I could make out a face. The person strode forward without a moment's hesitation, giving me the impression that they were leaving the village. I held my breath. Is this really a killer? So was he making his escape after committing yet another murder? Damn, what was I supposed to do? And so it's obvious I had to follow him. It'd be another tragedy if he had already killed again, but if that were the case, it would be too late to stop him. So I need to focus on not missing my chance to find the killer's identity. The figure walked on, getting closer to where I was hiding. Even from this close, there was a shadow preventing me from recognizing who it was. The hooded figure walked straight past my hiding spot. It's my chance! Once he's out of earshot, I carefully made my way out of the tree. I was not confident tailing somebody in the middle of the night, and outside the village at that. Put that out of my mind and followed from a distance, keeping my guard up at all times. Once outside the village, the figure started walking faster, seeming to think that he was out of danger. He veered off the right. I soon figured out where he was headed. We arrived at the edge of the forest east of the village. The situation was getting far worse for me. The danger was growing with every step. We're back at the forest, guys. Are we gonna meet that lady again? Hope the moonlight helped guide me back and prevent me from getting lost in here. Strange, unlike me, this person doesn't seem the least bit bothered by how dark it is. I took a deep breath and kept on moving. As I expected, the light dimmed considerably, but the darkness was not complete. It's now too dark to make out the silhouette, but the sound of footsteps had guided me on. I was very careful not to make too much noise myself and tried to keep a reasonable distance between us. I was so focused on telling the person I soon found I lost all sense of direction. Completely lost, I have no idea how I ever find my way back to the village. It's crazy that someone would venture this far into the forest. Who is this person? After following my target for another half hour or so, the footsteps stopped. Behind a tree, stopping to listen for a while. Silence. Do you stop moving until I lose him? Damn, what are my options now? Make a move, he's close, he'll spot me for sure. I had no choice but to wait and listen. I stayed as still as possible. I must have lost him. I can't just stay here like this all night long, though. Alright, I can at least have go look around where I last heard the noise. Again, as carefully as possible, I moved through the trees, trying to avoid crunching the dry leaves under my feet. I slowly made my way towards the spot I must have lost him. What's that over there? In the distance, I could make a dark outline of what looked like a hut through the trees. I crept closer. There's a wooden hut, alright. I think I found the killer's hideout. But who could live all the way out here? There's no way there's somebody's house. It must be something else. I'm going to take a look if I want to figure out what that something is. It looked more like a shack than a hut. Could he be some sort of storage shed? There's no light burning inside, no noise to be heard. Was my suspect hiding out in there? There's a strange smell in the air. It reminds me of something, but I can't for the life think of what it is. A second later, I figured it out. That's the smell of decaying corpse. Oh no, does that mean there's a body in there? I have to see who it is. First, I need to make sure I was alone out here. I picked a stone and threw it against the wall of the shack. Nothing. Good. Nobody in there. Time to have a look. I didn't have to say please don't. Oh no, it's Yunbok, isn't it? Please don't be Yunbok. Oh my god. Don't be Yunbok. Please don't be Yunbok. I made my way straight for the door. With each step forward, the smell got more and more pronounced. The vile stench allowed no doubt about its origins. As I crossed the threshold, I felt a powerful shove in my back, and then I felt a slicing pain below my ribcage. Ah! I made collapse to the ground as my feet went under me. My vision went blurry and I felt myself losing consciousness. The last thing I could muster, I tried to turn my head to catch a glimpse of my assailant. Right as I did, there's another slicing pain. I was done for. No use reasoning. With my last conscious thought, I realized that the murderer had drawn me down this way for this purpose. I knew the killer was clever, but this trap was masterfully set. I should have never followed. My mission was a failure, and the cost of that failure was my life. So this route was like, you just die? Is that it? Oh, wait. So one is to death. So if you just leave the hut to just do your job, you die. That's the thing. So I have to just stay. Killer will not go out third night. He's too smart for that. There's no use wasting time sneaking around the village. It would be better for me to rest and resume my investigation in the morning. So if I do my job that I promised like Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee to do, I just get killed. Can't you fight back or something? You're terrible. Yuri, you're here. Good morning, Sua. I'm so happy to see you. When did you get back last night? Actually, I decided not to go out. What made you change your mind? That's something you said. Forget the killer. Wouldn't probably go out third. I'll be wasting my time. Okay, I need to change a battery of my mouse. Hold on. Committed 2 murders on 2 consecutive nights. That's more than enough to satisfy whatever urge is driving him. And he must suspect that we will be trying to reach him. We'll know soon enough all's right. I'm going to report to Mr. Lee and see if anything happened during the night. Don't forget to bring up Baksu. I'm sure he'll be of some help. Do you really believe that? Of course I do. The village boxer has proven that he can communicate with the dead. I assure you it's true. He can ward away evil spirits and call forth good ones. Doesn't hurt to try, right? Okay, I'll bring it up to the Sato. It's not like I've got anything better to suggest. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Anyway, do you sleep all right? Strangely enough, I actually did. I don't even remember closing my eyes. All of yesterday's emotions must have drained me. If you had gone out, there's no way I would have known. Either way, I feel better this morning. It's good to know that I didn't spend the night alone. That's good to hear. What's your plan today? The market isn't open today, but I still have some vegetables to harvest and others to attend to. After that, I have nothing planned. Will it be alright if I come back here when I'm done? You don't even need to ask. Make yourself at home. Thank you, Yuri. Don't worry, I won't trouble you for long. Once you catch this fiend, I'll return home and things will go back to normal. No trouble at all. My room is your room for as long as you like. I'll continue to bed near the entranceway. It's very kind of you. Well, I must be off. I'll see you later. Good luck, Yuri. Here I thought I should do my job, but I got killed. Seriously. I don't understand the game. The mood of the village felt different this morning. As I walked toward the Yongbon district, I couldn't help but notice how few people were out and about. In the marketplace, there are very few shops open. The details of the killing must have spread. You could almost taste the tension in the air. How little my investigation turned up so far, I absolutely dreaded what Mr. Lee was going to say. Mr. Lee's pretty horrible. Good morning, Yuri. How are you feeling today? I'm doing all right, sir. How about you? Well, we'll see how I feel after hearing whatever news you've got for us. Despite smile and play good, I could sense that stress was getting to Mr. Kim. His face told us how exhausted he was. No further incidents during the night? That seems to be the case. What a relief. I must make my report. Shall we meet in the council chambers? We shall. I will instruct someone to call for Mr. Lee. Alright, I'll wait for you there. Made my way to the council chambers and waited for Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee to join me. Good morning, Yuri. Good morning, sir. I see you're still among the living. Come bearing good news, I hope? Well, not really, sir. What do you mean, not really? Well, I did not patrol the village last night. Turning tail, what did I expect any different? That's not it, sir. Please let me explain. Now you got excuses. Well, you better be convincing. To start, nobody has been found dead this morning. Isn't that right? Well, it seems to be the case. I've yet to receive any reports of murder. Well, now we have 2 victims, and people are being cautious. Striking 3rd night in a row would have been far too risky. I presume that he will not go out because I surely wouldn't have. In the end, I chose not to waste my night prowling the streets. Instead, I chose to rest. That way I could get up early in the morning and make the best use of my time. What if this brute had gone and killed again? Of course, there was always the risk that something like that might occur, but I was convinced that my logic was sound. Quite clever, actually, Yuri. It's good to see that you managed to keep a clear head. What about Miss Han's acquaintances? Did you turn up anything during your questioning? I spoke with them, but I learned nothing new. There was no contradiction of any of the testimonies, and none of them acted suspicious in any way. Are you sure you're conducting these interrogations properly? It's been 2 days and your investigation has turned up nothing. It's 2 fucking days! Okay, if you're that great, why don't you solve the mystery yourself? Jesus. How are you planning on making use of your time today? I'm going to question Suni's friends and relatives. This time you better find me a suspect. I'll do my very best. Also, I've been told that we have a skilled Paksu residing in the village. You might consider enlisting his services. I've heard about him. You can indeed call on the Paksu for help in this matter. Perhaps he could direct us towards some sort of clue. If it helps us find a suspect, I'll try just about anything. Honestly, I doubt it will be of any help. Yuri, you told me when you arrived you handled situations like this during your time in Hanyang. That's correct, sir. Tell me how you went about it. Alright. Thought for a moment about a fairly complicated investigation with a handful of victims. There was this strange case where a killer target, Gising woman. It's a courtesan with a great deal of knowledge about poetry, dance, music, and other subjects, frequently seen in the company of high-ranking men. Regrets began finding this woman murdered, stabbed to death in their own homes. The murders we ran over quite some time and wrongly suspect that it was Yangban official responsible for the murders. We tried to lure the killer out with Gising plans, but that did not work. You eventually find a culprit? We did. We had to change our methods entirely. We started investigating a woman in the area. Shortly after that, we discovered that the murder was actually Yangban's wife. We'd gotten jealous of her husband consorting with prostitutes. They spat these filthy creatures out of vengeance. How do you happen upon the truth? One of the maids would regularly burn her master's clothes. All the clothes she burned was stained with blood. That was her method of destroying the evidence. Once we figure out the murder's motive and understand how they operate, finding the culprit is only a matter of time. But finding out those 2 things is often the hardest part of the job. Do you happen to come upon any unsolved crimes? I won't lie, I saw a few. Still, I can send a request for guards from Dongnei to join in the investigation. If possible, I'd rather we did not. Let's entrust this affair to Yuri for the time being. Understood. Yuri, if we do not find this killer soon, how do you think people will begin to view us? Unfavorably, sir. Bayando is so much smaller than the capital. From what I can tell thus far, I'm certain that we'll be able to track down the killer. I still need more time. There's so much left to investigate. I can feel how passionate you are about all this. I believe in you. For once more tonight, after you finish the investigation. 2 days investigation. I'll be sure to do that, sir. Thank you. You may take your leave. Right away, sir. I'll return once more tonight. Walked out the hall, left the building. Good morning, my lady. Oh, this is Yusu. Okay. This is Lee. The Sato's daughter walked straight past me. She was alone. When I greeted her, she gave me a quick glance, but didn't bother returning the greeting as she passed me by. She was as beautiful as she was cold. The morning is growing late. Time to focus on today's objectives. I'll just drop by my house for a quick bite before getting back to it. It's a great pace kind of stop because I think my throat's starting to not be able to take it. I've been talking a lot. Why did the music suddenly change? The sun was high in the sky by the time I got home. As I approached, I heard the beat of a drum. Oh, that's Su'a. To me, it was the sound of a jangu, but it must have been Su'a doing the playing. Soak in the rhythm for a bit. Music got this amazing power to wipe a person's mind clean, only for a few minutes. I entered the house slowly so that I wouldn't scare Su'a. I could tell that she had brought over a few of her things, instrument included. I tried to force a smile she saw me, but I knew that she was just trying to hide her sadness. There was a loud knock at the door. Officer Yuri! Stay here so I'll see where it is. I'll see who it is. I mean, I'm jumbling on my words. Opened the door to find one of the village guards had arrived. I didn't know him personally, but I've seen him around. Something had gotten him very worked up. You must come at once, Yuri. It's urgent. Could you at least tell me what's going on? There's been another murder. This time it's serious. Oh my fucking god. Where was the murder? In the Yangban district. With the guards and shit? And in broad daylight? That's right, sir. Who was murdered? I'm not at liberty to speak of it. You have to see for it yourself. Please, you must come at once. Very well. Let me ready my horse. And give me a bound left. Suwa came up next to me. I heard everything. It's getting out of hand. How did the killer manage to sneak into Yangban district without being seen? No one is safe anymore. I'm afraid you're right. Please, let me go with you. I'm too scared to stay here by myself. Alright, we have to go now. My horse and we gallop full speed towards the Yangban district. The Yangban district have like guards. It has to be Yangban that's behind it, right? There was a gate that led into the small enclosed area where the noble's family resided, but that gate was now closed. Guard was posted outside. I don't remember ever seeing this gate closed. Do you, Suwa? Not that I can recall. We should expect the worst. So Yuri, you brought someone with you? I did. I was instructed not to let any outsiders. Suwa's with me. I will take full responsibility of her. Alright, you may enter. We entered the courtyard. Oh dear, what is going on here? There's a large group of people gathered in the courtyard. By the way they're dressed, it seemed like every young man in the district had gathered here, bringing their entourage with them. They were broken into smaller groups and seemed to be talking about whatever grave event had occurred. Soon after, I saw Mr. Lee in distance, accompanied by his daughter, Isu. Every noble man and woman from the village seems to be here. No, Mr. Kim is missing, as are his wife and daughter, Yuna. You're right. Do you think something happened to them? I sure hope not. No, please. I like Mr. Kim. There are a group of servants nearby, many of them in tears. Do you know whose house these servants are from? I do not. But it's clear that someone from this district is murdered. Mr. Lee saw me and turned to talk to his daughter. We'll walk this way. Hello, Suwa. Good to see you, my lady, and you, sir. So why are you here? So I was afraid to stay on her own, so I took the liberty of inviting her to come along. I apologize if that was out of line. Well, considering the circumstances, I'll look the other way just this once. Thank you, sir. Mr. Lee was not his usual self. Under normal circumstances, he would never stand for someone violating his orders. It's clear that his mind was elsewhere. Really, our problems have grown tenfold. Stared at you as he ponders next words. Should I step away for a moment, sir? Father, she'll find out soon enough. You know those two are thick as thieves. I don't know Yunsu very well. Yunsu or I don't know how to pronounce the name when I can't see the characters in Korean. Never mind. But she was weird. She put the other block, same tone of voice, same cold expression. Quite right. Very well, listen up. Mr. Kim's wife has been murdered. We found her body a short while ago. Oh, fuck. No one said a word for quite some time. Where are Mr. Kim and his daughter now? They're standing watch over the body at the moment. I insisted that no one should lay a finger on the body until you arrived. That was the right thing to do. Who died? Okay. Miss Han died. Which is the first victim. Suni, the best friend of Suwa, which is, you know, our girl best friend that we grew up with. That's the second victim that died. Now there's the third victim, which is the wife of Mr. Kim, who is, you know, the guy that they sponsored us to study and stuff. Yeah. 3 victims so far. That was the right thing to do. I'll go inspect the body at once. Where did the murder take place? In the garden right next to the pond. Alright. I'll make sure to get the family's permission before I carry out my inspection. I shall wait for you in the council chambers. Please come once you're finished. Will do, sir. I've got to end Suhoshin, so I think my throat up its limit. Well, would you come with me while they carry on with their business? I would, my lady. Let's go and have a chat, just us girls. See you soon, Yuri. See you soon. Yeah, I got a serial killer here. Also, you missed it. Okay, but you missed it. But I actually got killed. Because there was a choice that you make. Either because our character Yuri was proposed that he would patrol the village at night. That was what he told Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee. So it was his job, right? But there was a choice you had to make. Either you stay at your home and not patrol, so you stay and rest, or you go and patrol. Like you did, yeah, like you told Mr. Lee and Mr. Kim. Well, I went and patrolled because I was like, that's my job, right? I told Mr. Lee and Mr. Kim that's what I was supposed to be doing, so I did it. And apparently the killer lured us out to the forest and then killed us. They led us to a hut, or rather a shack in the forest, and we smelled like a decaying corpse smell. You know, about the smell of a decaying body. So actually my theory is, like, even though, yes, that is like the dead end, I don't know if like in the actual like story where you live, where you get to survive or something, that the story changes. But my theory is Yunbuk, who has been gone for so long, right? He disappeared. We don't know what happened to him. My theory was, since he's gone for quite some time now, that the decaying smell that we smelled at this ending at the shack might be Yunbuk. And the killer is trying to like frame Yunbuk for the crime, hiding behind the fact that Yunbuk has disappeared, is my theory. Or that is someone who they've killed before that somehow was hidden under wraps. So it could be someone that's like an official, maybe like someone higher ranked. So they maybe committed murder and they somehow managed to hid the fact that they murdered someone by throwing the body at the shack. And because it's so far in the forest and no one would really go there without getting lost unless they know the way, that they managed to hide the fact that they killed someone. So the culprit might be someone from like the Yangbans, you know, like the higher ups. Yeah, that was my theory. And I still think Mr. Lee is suspicious. I'm sorry. Okay. I walked toward the pond, which was located on the other side of the district. Also, hello, Herma. I forgot to say hello. The Yangban class owned this stretch of land and walled it off so that they might walk in peace, spared from robbing soldiers with common folk. This place was quite pleasant, boasting all sorts of places to sit among the beautiful trees and flowers. It was not a large stretch of land, but it helped the noblemen and women feel safe. When I reached the entrance to the garden, I saw that most of the village guards had gathered there. I stood to the side, waiting for the family of the deceased to come out. I used that time to think things through. So 2 common folk people have died, and then Mr. Kim's wife, Mrs. Kim, have died. So yeah, changes everything. Killer has no fear and stop at nothing to satiate his urges. The ordinary citizens keep up pulling this off. Our perpetrator knows exactly what he's doing. The fact that this is supposed to be a safer place in the village makes this all the more disturbing. Anyone wishing to gain access to this area would have to scale the wall first, considering quite the feat considering its height. However, considering how things stand, that did little to stop him. He was agile enough to get in, commit this murder, and escape unnoticed. I also need to find out why the victim was alone here. Maybe the killer lured her out this way? I pondered that until the sounds of footsteps approaching snapped me out of it. The footsteps belonged to Mr. Kim, his daughter, and a small escort of guards. They were making their way out of the guard. Every face showed the sorrow they were feeling, and most were in tears. A wave of pity swept over me. They came straight up to me and stopped. Hello, my lady. Okay, I've got a spoiler though, a little bit. I don't know if this changes depending on your choices that you make or not. But I was looking up this game, right, on Google, Suhoshin, and there's a picture that popped up. One of the first few pictures that you could see when you look up the game is this girl holding a knife, looking crazy, trying to kill Yuri, who has his back turned to her. So my other theory, which is not really related to the game, and it might not even really be... It might be a bad ending or something, I don't know. But one of my other theories is that this lady might be the one that's the killer. And he's the daughter of... I mean, she's the daughter of Mr. Kim. She's a Yangban, you know. People are gonna trust her when they, like, she knock on the door and you know... And, like, people are gonna, like, just be like, oh, she's a little girl, and she's a rich person, a noble. She's not gonna be dangerous, and they just open the door and then she kills them. That's my other theory. Okay, I don't know how accurate that is, because that's just from that picture that I saw. Hello, my lady. She didn't have the composure to answer, but she nodded all the same. Hello, Yuri. Sir, I'm so sorry for your loss, all because I have not lived up to... Nonsense, my boy. None of this is your fault. Please take a look at the remains of my dear wife and see what you can uncover. I shall be waiting for you in the council chambers. At once, sir, I'll make my report as quickly as I can. Take your time and scour the air for clues. Yuri, rushing this will get us nowhere. Mr. Kim can still stay calm. Oh my god, I feel so bad for the guy. They went on their way and I entered the garden. Body is splayed out on the bank of the pond nearest the entrance. I think I have to save here though. I think I have to like stop. I think it's just about right where I can stop. Yeah, see, this is the save where I died. But yeah, I need to stop here for it. But I think like an hour and a half is the longest I could go for this game before my throat starts to hurt. So I will have to stop playing this game for now, for tonight. Because immediately after I finished like last stream, because I talked so much, my throat started to hurt a bit. It did not become an infection, so I didn't get like an actual like sore throat or something, but it still hurts a little bit. I've been taking Los Angeles and stuff and resting my throat for the past couple days. But I don't know though, because I do have to talk a lot in the game. So I have to see how I feel tomorrow. See if I would play this game or not. Because if my throat hurts, I might have to skip a day. And I'll play on Saturday instead. I might not be able to do it every day, because I just have to read so much. As much as I'm into the story. Okay, because so far, it's very typical. Yeah, there's nothing surprising at this point, I suppose. And I can see somehow why people say the main guy is a bit incompetent, but so far though, it's not as bad. I feel like the story is pretty like straightforward, I guess, pretty linear, and it is a visual novel. So it's not like you have any quick time events or anything they could do to stop what's going on. It's just how the story's happening. So far the story isn't too bad. There is like the danger element that you feel. Even as a visual novel, you hear the music and stuff, and yeah, you know you can't do anything. There's no quick time event or anything that could save you. But I so far enjoyed the story, and I'm interested. You know, and the art is good. I feel like the music's pretty good. It's pretty obviously very Korean. So it's not like the normal typical like soothing music, I guess, that you would get from playing most games. But it's not terrible. I'm pretty okay with this one actually. It's just the reading that kind of gets me. So I'll have to switch games. For those of you watching on YouTube, though, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.